Having been born with a disability, I was always slightly different anyway. I always had quite a prominent limp. But by the age of certainly 15, 16, I was the fat child in school. I was the disabled child in school, so I was an odd one out. At 16, most boys want the girl's attention and they want a girlfriend. Not many girls, certainly around here, would go for the fat, disabled, swatty guy who likes singing. They went for the 6 foot, well-trimmed, six-pack guy. So that's what I wanted to be like. So I went on a diet. Unfortunately, anorexia is a very dangerous thing. It creeps up on you very slowly. And gradually the weight, yes, did slip off, but it started to slip off a bit too much. And it became an obsession. Then going swimming once a day or 3 or 4 times a week was great. But gradually it became more and more of an obsession. And my worst sort of ebb, I was probably swimming twice a day. Each time I was swimming well over a mile, probably a mile and a half. And it was coming to a point where I would lie to my parents and other people how much I was doing. I would say I've only been once today, whereas I was perhaps sneaking off early in the morning or going there on the way home from my studies as well as in the morning. And if I didn't go swimming, I literally would feel like dirt and I would feel guilty. And it was ruining my life and I'd had enough. And then the first year of university, I became very, very obsessed with my work and my exercise and counting the calories. And I think that's the element of anorexia coming out again, is the obsessionalism and the perfectionism as well. And there were 2 Davids working. There was the medic, David, saying, oh, you look like, well, as Mum would always say, something of the Belson. I literally look like a bag of bones. But then there was the anorexic David saying that, yeah, you're normal. It was during my psychiatry attachment, and I saw a patient on a ward, and she was like a mirror image of myself. Yeah, I think that was probably the turning point in my sort of anorexic journey, so to speak. She could hardly move. She was very ill physically. She was very, very ill mentally. And yes, I wasn't that bad, but I realized what I could become if I carried on. It also hit me for 6 because I realized for the first time probably in the cold light of day that I was chucking my own dream away. I was chucking my career away. And if I didn't pull it around, some people would say if I didn't pull myself together, I would lose my dream of becoming a doctor, and that's all I ever wanted. And from that point on, the obsessional sort of trait came out once again, but this time it was to defeat anorexia.
At BEAT, we estimate that there are over 11,000 boys and young men affected by eating disorders. It's very difficult for men to talk about complex mental health needs, to talk about emotions, to talk about illness, issues affecting their lives. But it's particularly important that boys and men affected by eating disorders seek help as soon as possible. All research says that the earlier somebody seeks treatment, the better their chances of a long-term sustained recovery.
My mother, because she had lived with an anorexic, as I say, she understood where I was coming from day one. Without them, I would have died, to put it bluntly. Eating is now an enjoyment for me. Exercise is now part of my routine, but it's, yes, the half hour to be fit, and I'm happier now than I have been for many years. To actually have overcome anorexia and to have overcome the exams, and to do both of those in the 5 years was, yes, I suppose a bit of an achievement. And yes, quite a buzz to be known as Dr. David Salmon now, really, and hopefully I can now fulfill my dream of coming back to my local town and to give something back to my local people and to the NHS.